D23 is officially over, and these are the biggest announcements for Disney and Pixar. Let's go. Starting off with Indiana Jones, we finally got our first trailer, but it was for the room only. Sad news. Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge actually showed up on stage to promote it, and he gave an emotional speech. We still don't have a single idea of when the trailer is gonna hit or when the actual release date of the movie is gonna be. The best part about that panel is the fact that Ke-Huy Quan and Harrison Ford actually got the chance to reunite after he stepped off stage. Moving on, Avatar: The Way of the Water. Zoe Saldana, Stephen Lang, Sam Worthington, and Sigourney Weaver took the stage to talk about the movie. They did show some clips from the film, but the coolest part is that they gave out 7,000 3D glasses in under 2 minutes. From the footage, we know that the Sully family is officially expanding with their kid called Kiri, who appears to be carrying the spirit of Dr. Grace Augustine, who is voiced by Sigourney Weaver. She's playing both characters, which is interesting. The main villain of the film is going to be Stephen Lang's character, who is returning as a Na'vi soldier with an entire Splinter Squad trying to f everybody up. Now to the Disney stuff. We had the 35th anniversary of Disney Legends, where the entire cast of Frozen was inducted, where Josh Gad gave an all-time great speech, and of course we had the induction of Chadwick Boseman into the Disney Hall of Fame. Speaking of Disney Legends, Amy Adams is coming back to the sequel of Enchanted called Disenchanted. Giselle, who is played by Amy, now has a baby, but she isn't living it up as a real-life Disney princess, so she makes a wish and everything goes to shit. They showed off the trailer and the poster. It looks interesting. Moving on, this project wasn't on my radar, but Peter Pan and Wendy released this poster and had the official cast show up to talk about the film. Most importantly, we got the confirmation that Jude Law is indeed going to be playing Captain Hook. Hocus Pocus 2 is officially happening. It's been a long time in the making, but the entire original cast is reprising the roles. This all-time great trio of witches also got their poster reveal, as well as the fact that the movie is going to be coming out on September 30th on Disney+, so look out for that. Before we continue, I should let you know I'm covering everything from D23 and all the biggest releases happening this year on this channel, so make sure you subscribe with the noties on so you know exactly where to look. Speaking about big releases, the biggest surprise from this entire panel for me was the fact that Mufasa, yes, Mufasa from The Lion King, is getting a prequel movie for himself. This prequel movie is going to be directed by Barry Jenkins, who is an Academy Award nominated director. You may have known his work from Moonlight, so yeah, it has a pretty stellar crew behind it. They didn't give us that much information about the plot or any footage, but we do know that Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen are going to be reprising the roles as Timon and Pumbaa. Another heavy hitter that's getting its own reboot is The Haunted Mansion. The movie's going to be directed by Justin Simien, who was at the event to talk about the film. It is inspired by the iconic theme park attraction, but it follows a completely different plot. It focuses on a woman and her son who enlist some spiritual experts to try to exorcise some supernatural creatures from their home. They did share a sneak peek at the D23 Expo for the crowd. Of course, we didn't get to see that. What we did get, however, was a major casting announcement. In stellar fashion, one of the Haunted Mansion Doom Buggies travels its way across the stage, and we finally get the reveal of who is going to be playing Madame Leota. It is the amazing, the incomparable Jamie Lee Curtis. This movie is set to release next year. We still don't know if it's going to be on Disney Plus or in theaters as well. Stay tuned. The biggest winner of the night in terms of announcements was Snow White. This live-action reimagining of the original classic officially confirmed its cast, where we have Rachel Ziegler playing the titular character and, of course, Gal Gadot playing the Queen. Both of these amazing ladies came out on stage, gave us a sneak peek, and confirmed that the movie's going to be coming out in 2024. One thing that stood out to me is the fact that this one has an amazing crew behind the camera as well. Mark Webb is going to be directing, Mark Platt is going to be producing, and then on top of that, we're getting Tony, Oscar, and Grammy-winning songwriters Pasek and Paul. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of live-action adaptations of original classics, but I'm excited for this one. Wait, sidebar, not for Snow White, the one that I'm talking about right now, which is The Little Mermaid. It's officially coming out in 2023, and we finally got our first look at Halle Bailey crushing it as Ariel. From that first riff in Part of Their World, we know that this girl is absolutely gonna eat in every single scene. We also got Jacob Tremblay as Flounder, Aquafina as Scuttle, Melissa McCarthy's going to be playing Ursula, and then we have Javier Bardem playing the role of King Triton. I love the look, I love the style, I know Hailey's gonna crush it. Of course, the entire internet went into a swivel, but that's a topic for another video. In order to celebrate 100 years of animation, Walt Disney Animation Studios is coming out with a film called Wish. Not much more was given, I'm just gonna take it at face value. I think that's everything for Disney, time to move on to Pixar. As soon as Pete Docter took the stage, the entire Pixar extravaganza was about to begin, starting with Elemento. This is an all-new original film, which will be releasing June 16th of 2023. Peter Sohn is directing and gave us some details about the actual plot. Essentially, we got a huge city where water, fire, and air residents live together in harmony, quote unquote. Ember is made of fire and Wade is made of water. It's a romance between fire and water. They can't touch each other. Bada bing, bada boom. The people inside Hall D23 got a teaser, and us on the outside, we got a poster. Moving forward, we got the introduction to Pixar's very first animated series. It's called Win or Lose, and it's going to be covering a softball team preparing during the week leading up to their championship game. Every single episode is going to be taking place within that same week, and it is going to be releasing during fall of 2023. The directors Carrie Hobson and Michael Yates came out on stage to give us some details. I'm saving the biggest announcement for last, but we have to cover the newest movie, Elio. In this one, we have an 11-year-old kid which ends up decoding a strange signal, gets beamed into outer space, and unbeknownst to him, becomes the ambassador for Earth. America Ferrara is going to be playing Olga. Then you have Jonas Kibriab, who's going to be playing Elio. While we did not get a trailer, we did get the release date. It's going to be in spring 2024. One of the coolest surprises for me is the fact that Disney Animation Studios is going to be partnering with an outside company called Kugali. It's a pan-African comic book entertainment company, and they're making up a new series called Iwaju. The focus of the series is covering a futuristic depiction of Lagos, Nigeria, which is now going to be divided into an island and a mainland separated by socioeconomic status. It looks really interesting. We did get a first look, and they let us know that it is going to be coming to Disney Plus on 2023. There's a new series called Zootopia Plus, which I think will take part after the original movie ends, but yeah, that one is launching on Disney Plus later in November 9th. Didn't get a lot of information about this one, but the cast is absolutely stacked, so we have to talk about Strange World. I'm gonna just read off the cast members: Jake Gyllenhaal, Dennis Quaid, Lucy Liu, and of course, Yabuki Jung White. After getting a sneak peek, we also got the announcement that Gabrielle Union is going to be joining the project. That film is coming out in theaters November 23 of this year. At the finale of the presentation, we have our first introduction to the newest Disney princess called Asha. She's going to be showing up in Wish, and that is releasing in fall of 2023. Alan Tudyk came out on stage and said that he's going to be voicing one of the characters, Valentino. We also have Julia Michaels, who is writing all the songs for Wish, and the amazing reveal that Ariana DeBose is going to be playing Asha. This lineup is incredibly crazy, but of course we have the main event, the final announcement of the show. Inside Out 2 is officially happening. This film has been on my radar for years, and it is finally going to be releasing in summer of 2024. After Amy Poehler herself came out on stage, she gave us some details about the flick. Most of the original emotions are going to be coming back with their original voice actors. Some of them might be changing because of money disputes. The most important part is we learned that Inside Out 2 is also going to be taking place inside Riley's head as she ends up exploring her life as a teenager. Okay, we finally finished. Those are all the projects. As D23 comes to a close, this is my top 3 in terms of how excited I am for the projects. At number 3, I have Iwaju. It's a new type of project with a different animation studio collaborating with Disney. I think that one's gonna be really fun to watch. At number 2, I have Pixar's Elio. You know how much I love outer space, and the fact that this little kid is going to become the ambassador for Earth, yeah, please sign me up. Finally, at number 1, we have Inside Out 2. I've been waiting for this flick since 2015, and the fact that we're going to be exploring Riley as a teenager with the same emotions, adding new ones on top, yeah, that's a recipe for success. So that is all it from me, familia. Now you're caught up in the loop. Make sure to like the video, share with your friends, and of course, make sure to crack a smile. Just ride the wave, and I'll see you on the next one. Blow!